G'day all and welcome to Barlow Park in Cains, where the Firehawks host the Bathurst Bluetongues in what is one of the most anticipated clashes of the season. My name is Blair Curtin, and in the box with me is your Mines Commissioner, Mark Lee. Mark, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
I'm actually quite excited. My first game as commissioner. I think it's going to be a big one.
Absolutely. Two teams very, very well placed within the competition. A lot of players in these sides are going to be looking to be drafted by SRL teams for Season 7. As Titans captain, have you had your eye on anyone lately?
I have a few on my eye radar. I'm just hoping that they perform well and they keep going.
All right, certainly. As Henrik Lind, Penrith development player, lines up to take the first kick of tonight's game.
Yeah.
Runs deep, almost to the try line. Brought off to Daly, who surges forward, almost making it to the 20. Play the ball, windmill skied, who suggested that he might be making his way to Cronulla.
Oh, that's an interesting
start
one.
of Season 7. On to Berkeley, Mines veteran, been playing since Season 4. So heads on to Keller, to Segarini.
Oh,
Good run.
offload.
Average offload.
They cleaned that up.
On to Berkeley, long pass to Stramadalini. Let's just call him Bill Cosby. Last tackle. Skied onto Keller, the lock forward taking the kick, down to Slugger on the wing, steps one, breaks the line, but the cavalry coming round him up. Play the ball, McKinnon onto Lind, dishes it on to Joe Turner Jr., the big American, muscles his way forward. Lind a bit slow to dummy half, onto Matthews, Burton surges, hits the line, drives forward, making some metres after contact. Onto Tedesco, who launches it onto Corte. Corte with a break. Pulled down by Cyrus Marks. Fourth tackle. Bluetongues have advantageous field position. Matthews onto Slugger. Slugger for the corner. Heads in. Should he have stayed outside? Last tackle. Slugger plays the ball. Open side to Lind.
Oh, what a grubber.
And Phil Burton scores the opening try. Mark, how do you feel?
Oh, I'm excited. That was a brilliant set. Pretty much went end to end. That was a beautiful little pass there from Tedesco to set up that down the field, and away you go.
Lind is, of course, a big boot, and we probably see that brought to its advantage there. A really solid attacking kick, and the Firehawks defence just couldn't quite handle it. Unsurprisingly, he's also the goal kicker for tonight's game.
It's an interesting thing they've made him 9. I would have kept him in the halves, to be perfectly honest, with that big boot.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more, Mark. As you know, I'm a big fan of Henrik's. The big Swedish bloke. And it'll be interesting to see how he goes and whether a team's going to pick him up for Season 7. I do think the Bluetongues would look a lot better with him in at 6.
I think they have to be on someone's radar. I mean,
you'd certainly hope so. As Stramandanoli, I think I finally got that pronunciation correct, kicks down to Desco onto Ilias. I think Liam Rogers called him the Greek freak. Lind onto Matthews. Matthews to Shackelford. Rusty Shackelford driving forward. He's one of your development players, isn't he?
Yes, he
Mark?
is. He's coming along well. I just think he gets his head down and he'll be fine.
Okay, very interesting. Corte wrapped up just short of the halfway on fourth tackle. Matthews onto Ilias, but the Firehawks defence reads the play well. And Lind steps into dummy half, and it's Tedesco kicking. down to the wing of Boyd. Corey Boyd, new player within the competition, but has already made a mark with some pretty impressive jersey designs, if memory serves.
Yeah, he's actually a really talented designer. I've messaged him a few times about him, and he's a nice, genuine guy.
Okay, that's great to hear. Stramandanoli takes a run at first receiver. Interesting choice for the 5'8". Back down to Boyd, but Bluetongues are all there. They're just over the halfway. Firehawks, and they're going to play the ball at last just over the Bluetongues 40. Bill Cosby kicks down to the wing of Slugger again. Seems they've decided he needs some attention, but he deals with the pressure well, returning to the 30 before being wrapped up. Shackford onto Joe Turner Jr. Doesn't quite make it to the 40. Lind onto Burden. Burden steps. Burden breaks the first line, but wrapped up by Cyrus Marks at fullback. Lind, Tedesco, Goku Simpson, onto Thomas Usher, who is your other development player, I believe, Mark.
Yeah, he had a brilliant game for us last week. In replace while Don was off in Bali. He didn't get many touches, unfortunately. They were scared to kick to him.
Such is the fate of the debutants. Tedesco, crossfield punt, down to the wing of Arkey. Marley Arkey surges but flirts with the touchline. Gets very, very close. Leach onto Marks. Marks steps through the first line. And they're pulled down by Burden, who's come down and corralled him. Windmill skied onto Daly. Daly contacts the line, drags them back over the 30. Onto Hilbert. Second row, driving over the 20. It's fourth tackle. Firehawks seem to have had just a little bit more of the field possession advantage ever since that first Bluetongues try. Mark, as we see the bomb come in, and well fielded by Usher,
he's
who
away.
breaks to the 20. What's your thoughts on the game so far?
Well, I think the move by Cyrus coming back to the mines is puzzling, but he's doing really well at the fullback role. I feel.
Well, he is, of course, in a bit of a lower stakes competition.
Yeah.
Compared to the SRL. Not that that's a knock on any of the Mines boys, but it's simply where things are. As you say, it's a puzzling decision. Are you aware of anything that might have caused that, or?
I think he was wanted to play fullback, and at the current spot, I don't think he was going to, unfortunately, break that fullback spot with Joey Kelly there up at Brisbane.
Is that so? I was not aware of that.
I could be wrong, but that's the way I heard rumours of.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you there as Hilbert makes a break, but wrapped up by Burden. I don't think a rookie's going to be pushing out Joey Kelly anytime soon. Cyrus Marks onto Berkeley. Berkeley would have to, you'd say, be one of the front runners for most games in the Mines, wouldn't you say, Mark?
Oh, I think he'd be up there. It's like 3 seasons in the Mines now.
I believe so. As Keller, straight through the line. Onto Dominic, who plays the ball. Wimilski runs himself and throws an intercept to Tedesco. Tedesco pushes over the 20. Bit of a lame end to the set there.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd get to a kick and hopefully get some points on the board.
Yeah, you've got to feel that they had the Bluetongues on the ropes a bit as Ilias bowls over one. Lind to Shackelford. Shackelford drives the defensive line back as we see the 20-minute auto subs. Tedesco onto Goku Simpson, who steps. The Bluetongues just aren't quite making the meters that the Firehawks are, but they're still in the lead as we see the crossfield punt to RK. Mark, has anyone made their, mark on the game for you so far?
Good pun. I actually think Cyrus has done an amazing job coming from that fullback role. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him. He's pointing his team around the park with his experience up in the SRL, which is helping them a lot.
Yeah, I'd agree. Cyrus Marks has had a good game, as we see a bit of a curious kick from Leach that doesn't even make the Bluetongues 40. And is this going to be the turning point we see?
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Fair call. On to McDade. McDade drives close to the 30. And Lynn dishes out to Shackelford. Shackelford onto Malik, the other bench forward for the Bluetongues. Plays the ball to Tedesco, to Corte. Real arm wrestle. However, it's currently in the Firehawks half of the field. Tedesco passes rather than kicks onto Matthews and wrapped up 15 metres out, just to the left of the uprights.
That was a pretty disappointing set there from the Bluetongues. I thought they would have done a bit better there.
Yeah, you've got to feel that both sides might be ruining some missed chances as they go short side and then back inside to Marks. Marks trying to inject himself into the game more and more. Berkeley onto Wriggle. Wriggle with a break. Chancy offload.
Yeah.
But wrapped up by Windmill Skeed. Plays the ball to Marks. Marks to Keller. Keller to Hilbert. Hilbert wrapped up. Fifth tackle, 36 metres out from the Bluetongues try line. Launches back to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby down to the wing of Slugger again. Slugger swings for the fences, steps one. Breaks the first line, but wrapped up by Marks. Matthews onto Shackelford. Shackelford driving over the 30. Quick play the ball. Lind onto Matthews. Matthews inside to Corte. The lock forward. Wrapped up just short of the 40. Onto McDade. McDade takes an excellent hit up, driving over the 50 in post-contact metres. Tedesco to Burton. Down the back line to Simpson. Simpson wrapped up on the 40, just outside the tram tracks. Fifth tackle. Usher onto Corte. Corte kicks down the wing of Arkey. Both teams liking the eastern touchline as Arkey makes a break. It's a foot race, but he's held. Doesn't make as many metres as he'd hoped for. Windmill Skeed onto Keller. Keller breaks the line as well. Launches a pass. Launches another one, and Michael wrapped up just over the Bluetongues 30. Hilbert takes a bit of a settler, drives over the 20, halfway through the set. Not too many more metres to go. Alan Berkeley. Don't know if another settler was the play there, but they took it. Keller drives over the 10. It's last tackle. Run or kick, Mark?
Oh, I'd have to go kick. Oh, they've got that all wrong.
Yeah, throwing it to your bench prop on last probably isn't typically the play. And
some disappointing fifth tackle options from both teams at the moment, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, as Corte makes a massive break and throws a terrible offload to Lind and loses them most of the ground that he actually made. Tedesco onto Simpson. Simpson steps. Wrapped up on the tram tracks. I mean, for a long time, as Alexander Gray offloads, crumbs picked up by Corte. Fourth tackle on the Firehawks 30. Last tackle just short of the 20. Lind to Matthews, who puts it high. Technically not a bomb though. And Arkey comes up with it, wrapped up about 3 metres out. So Mark, as you know, there's long been a perception that as Wriggle makes a break, but there's long been a perception that there's a bit of a glut of halves in the SRL. Don't know whether that's still entirely true or not, but do you feel that any of the halves or playmakers generally here have stepped up and put their hand up for consideration for next season?
I think Felix has done an amazing job, even though he's nine, sorry. But, I see, go for a knock on there. That's not what we wanted to see.
Bit of the commentator's curse. I think that was big hit. Bluetongues player, I think that's Shackelford down in backfield. But seems he's come good. Lind goes short side to Slugger. Slugger finds Shackelford outside him. Not quite sure how that happened. Slugger onto Matthews, onto McDade. McDade breaks the line. Forces Cyrus Marks to make the tackle. Fullback out of the line. Onto Matthews. Perhaps not the play they would have been looking for from their 5'8 there. And bit of a drop ball, but the referee says wasn't played at. McDade having a nap at first receiver. Last tackle. Grubber kick. Burden with the double.
Brilliant.
And in very similar fashion to the first one. Mark, run us through it.
Oh, he just puts it slightly on his top of his toe. Nice pickup, and then just plants the ball. You can't ask for anything more than that. That's amazing.
Now, just looking at that replay, there might have been some question as to whether Burden was offside, but referee seems happy with it.
Yeah, I just seen that. It looked like it was a metre offside.
I'll
take the referee's word. He's on the ground.
That's true. And Lind sends it straight over. A comfortable 12-0 lead with 2.25 minutes left in the first half. I think we can say that Bluetongues are definitely going into the break with the lead. What do the Firehawks need to do here, Mark?
I think they just need to go back to basics and stop trying to just run and get them fifth tackle options right, I think, is the main thing at the moment.
Have we seen an attacking kick?
I don't think we have.
The Firehawks yet.
I don't think we have. The one time got really close, they just passed it off to their bench prop and, didn't go really well.
No. Well, Alexander Great has just broken the line, throws a pass to Lind. Not sure whether that was entirely necessary again. Bit of nerves from the juniors as Matthews dishes it on to McKinnon. McKinnon well handled though. Firehawks read that defensive play.
Oh, and a forward pass.
Forward out of dummy half.
Yeah.
Well, 20 seconds on the clock. What do the Firehawks need to do?
I think they need it to get it to Berkeley and just pray.
Well, it's with Marks who steps, but can't quite do it himself. That's half-time blown here at Cains, with the Bluetongues leading away, 12-0. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Barlow Park in Cairns, where the Firehawks, hosting the Bathurst Bluetongues, find themselves down 12-0 at half-time. Mark, do you have any reflections on the first half? How you think things have gone and where teams might improve?
I think that the kicking games on both teams need to improve a little bit, and I think they've got to stop relying on their key players. They need to even the workload a little bit, I feel.
Yeah, I could definitely understand that. Looking through the team lists, maybe there might have been some selection errors going in. Alan Berkeley, the big boot, hasn't made a kick yet, but he's been picked in the number 7 jersey where in theory he'll kick less. The big boot... The big boot for Bathurst, of course, Henrik Lind, finds himself in the 9 jersey where he's going to use that even less. Do you feel like the captains might be in a bit of a position to optimise their team lists better for next week?
Yeah, I think they need to reach out to their mentors and ask them for a bit of advice because it's just not working, I don't feel, on both teams.
I can definitely respect that. As commissioner, I take it you're often in contact with the mentors?
Yeah, I've got to I've only just taken over a day ago, so I've got to have a meeting with them and talk to them.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we've had a set each. Looks like the Bluetongues were caught on last as Marks makes a break, but cut down by Burden. Burden has had an excellent game so far with the 2 tries. Who's your standout for the Firehawks so far?
I think it'd have to be their halves pairing, actually.
Okay. Strowman, Delaney, and Berkeley?
Yeah. Berkeley's been a solid 7. I think yeah.
Okay, certainly. And what about for the Bluetongues? Anyone really hit your radar today?
Oh, sorry, there's a brilliant intercept there.
Go for it.
I can't really say, to be honest.
Oh, fair enough then. For mine, I'd say it was probably Burden who's been the best for the Bluetongues, followed closely by Lind who put the ball in the boot for that first try.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I probably would agree with you there.
Fair enough. As we see, Strowman Delaney himself, the man. I thought he was held up, but they're sending it to the bunker. Let's see how we've gone. No, he's definitely on his back there.
That was a bit of a strange call. The referee was in perfect sight of view there.
I thought I saw it from the commentary box, but sometimes the referee needs to go to Specsavers.
Yeah.
As Daly dragged down just a metre short of the line. Firehawks knocking on the door.
What a horrible kick. What? Oh. That's
unexcusable. That from Bill Cosby.
It's unexcusable.
Ilias trucks it up for 0 tackle. Lind sends it on to Tedesco. Tedesco, quick ball to Joe Turnier Jr. Red, white and blue boxer shorts on. Plays the ball. It heads off to Shackelford. Shackelford makes a break. Launches an offload to Corte. Breaks one. Ilias, but Ilias is driven back. Lind from dummy half launches it out to Shackelford again. Lightning doesn't strike the same place twice though. Pulled down after just a few metres. Matthew puts the head down. Launches it on to Alexander. Great. Alexander. And it's a penalty. Held down too long. Mark, seems they're going for the kick for touch here rather than the 2.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange choice. I would have gone up 2 tries and an extra 2 points in front.
Absolutely, but at the same time, I guess they do want to impress the captains as Shackelford is sacked down by the Firehawks defence. Joe Turnier Jr. onto Slugger. Slugger wrapped up 5 metres out. McKinnon onto Lind. Lind with the quick ball to Joe Turnier Jr. He is millimetres short of the line here. Lind on again. Ilias jogs it. Ilias doesn't care. Ilias dives over. It is another meat pie for the Bluetongues. Mark.
I don't think he was expecting that ball then. Hit him off the head and he still gets over the line. That's crazy.
I don't think Hendrik Lind was expecting Ilias to end up with the ball there either. And he was the one that threw the pass. But Lind with 2 try assists for the Savo.
He's been astonishing. Like, that's crazy. From hooker.
Absolutely. And he's had a blinder of a game so far in a match that has perhaps not provided the most moments for the highlights reel. I think you'd agree, Mark?
Yeah, it's been a very hard fought game, but no, yeah, interesting.
Absolutely. Bill Cosby sends it deep. Matthews onto Joe Turnier Jr. running from the back fence. Tears into the line and just pulled down short of the 20. Onto Matthews again. Matthews decides he wants to take a hit up the little number 6. Great inside to Burden. Burden driven back this time though. Lind onto Shackelford. This Lind-Shackelford combination on the left edge seems to be one that they really like.
Yeah.
Matthews goes for the early kick. It's only fourth tackle. That was inside. Marks, stops, thinks about it. Starts running back. But only just over the 10 before the defence meets him. Mark, interesting choice there from the Bluetongues as Daly makes a break.
I think he was going for the 40-20 and he just got it a bit wrong there. Got the angle wrong.
Very easy to get wrong when you're kicking down that short side like that, though, as you'd know.
Yeah.
Definitely have to give him some points for trying.
Oh, yeah.
Stramandolini.
Oh, and a silly knock on there.
Well, Bluetongues are in pole position to get themselves another try here. As Lind sends it down the short side to Tedesco. Tedesco decides he wants to hit up too. Interesting decisions by the halves here. Alexander great onto Ilias. Ilias, the two Greeks combining. Lind onto Joe Turnier Jr. Jr. driving. 4 metres out from the line. Long ball onto Shackelford. Shackelford fights, but he's rolled onto his back. And they're going to say that's held up in goal. For mine, the ball was short, but referee disagrees. Lind back to Matthews. Matthews goes for the bomb this time. It's a little bit too deep.
And he's got it.
Alexander great scribed it. And as you say, Mark, that is yet another try for the Bluetongues. It's all fallen apart for Cains here, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was all set up for that repeated, the forwards just pushing the ball forward and had no stop up the middle.
Absolutely, and you know, I can't say that really, with the possible exception of Hilbert, who had 72 metres in the first half, that any of the Firehawks forwards have really jumped out at me.
No, they've all...
How about yourself?
Yeah, they're all just kind of a bit flat, I feel. I think they need to get that spark and bring it further.
Absolutely, but I mean, I can already name Joe Turnier Jr., Alexander Greta, and Kyriakos Ilias. Kyriakos Ilias, I should say, sorry. But I can't really say I can name any of the Firehawks forwards right now.
Yeah. I'm pretty much in the same boat. I don't know any of their names. Apologies in advance anyway. I'll get to know yous.
Rusty Shackelford as well. I mean, he's just combined with Lynn so well on that edge. Just when they need that's a shocker. That is an absolute shocker. What was Drew Matthews thinking?
That's unforgivable in your own half.
After points too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think this is going to change the result of the match. The fat lady hasn't sung yet, but she is definitely gearing up for it. As Keller drives so close to the line. I fear I might be dropping the commentator's curse by speaking too early.
Oh.
Berkeley, no, he's held up. The ref wants a look though. He was rolled on his back for mine.
Yeah,
you can see there Lind has just got down and rolled him by the legs, and the bunker agrees. It's fifth tackle now. Keller onto Stramandolini, sorry. As Goku Simpson fields it, but inches short of his own try line. Phil Burden makes a break. Forces Cyrus Marks to come up and make that tackle. Lind onto Joe Turner Jr. Jr. drives. Corte makes a break. Cyrus Marks there again to clean up. It's only fourth tackle and they're almost at the Firehawks 40. They're across it now. Shackelford again combining with Lind. See the play of the ball. McKinnon onto Matthews. Matthews goes long and cross field on the punt. Corey Boyd Marks the ball, but can't get very far with it.
Oh.
Referee says play on, and Maverick Keller is injured.
You have to be their best forward too, and he's gone for the night.
Yes. So, Mark, as Mines Commissioner, can you refresh the crowd on what happens in an injury situation like this?
I have to brush up on the rules myself, but I think he gets dropped for the week to the bench.
Oh, I see. Ooh, that seemed a little bit tackled without the ball.
Yeah.
But Cains is not going to complain. Neither side has done particularly well in bringing it out of their own end, I'd say, generally. But I would say that the Bluetongues have done it better as Hilbert makes a break and throws an intercept. Ilias driving, brought down between the tram tracks, 34 metres out, as Lynn sends it on to Tedesco. Tedesco to Joe Turner Jr. Joe Turner Jr. wrapped up 26 metres out. Lind onto Shackelford. Past Lind, caught Shackelford. It's a combination we've seen a lot of this evening. Matthews onto Ilias. Ilias has a wrestle with Stramondolini and sends it on to McDade. McDade onto Shackelford again. Wrapped up. It's now last tackle, run or kick. Matthews says kick. He's put it a little too deep again, but will it matter? Yes, it will, because Corey Boyd has come up with that on a 7 tackle set, Mark.
Yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing kick there, straight into the in goal. But 10 metres, a couple metres shorter, and it would have been perfect.
It absolutely would have been, and they do get the 7 tackle set, but at 24-0 up, it's probably a mistake that you won't be punished for too badly.
Yeah, I think that's unluckily for the Firehawks, but I think it's night over.
The fat lady hasn't sung yet, but she's warming up the vocal cords for a round of Bluetongues Monday, you'd have to say. As Marks wrapped up, 4th tackle, 12 minutes to go. Windmill skied onto Berkeley, Berkeley to Black. It just feels like ages since we've seen a real set from the Firehawks.
Yeah, it's just nothing. It's just one out passing, pretty much.
Absolutely, as we finally see a kick from Berkeley, fielded by Yasha, breaks one tackle, breaks the line, but the reinforcements have come to hunt him down. Ilias makes a break. The prop forward shouldn't be doing this. An offload to Lind, who then fights and maybe makes an extra metre. Burden onto Tedesco, Tedesco onto McDade. McDade wrapped up 36 metres out. Ilias onto Shackelford. Shackelford driving forward. Wrapped up 27 out, you'd have to say. Matthews decides to run it himself. Not sure that's a great decision on 5th tackle. Play the ball for last. McDade, the ball has ended up with, who puts up a bomb that goes sideways, but not much else. And Firewood. I think that might just about be their first touch of the game.
Yeah, another disappointing end of the set kick there.
Well, to be fair, it's a bench prop.
Yeah.
Although McDade is officially a half.
Oh, okay.
I say. Although hot stepper archetype, which probably doesn't bode well for their kicking skills, I say.
No.
Marks makes a break after stepping the line. Pulled down by Burden. Burden's definitely been an impressive player.
Oh, yeah. And the size difference between him and Cyrus is crazy.
Absolutely. Just that big body seems to be able to bully a lot of line breaks. As Slugger, Angie Slugger, the name, is wrapped up onto Drew Matthews, onto Rusty Shackelford. One pass too many. Was that entirely necessary, do you think, Mark?
No, I don't think it was necessary. It was forced for no reason. Just gives the Firehawks possession in a... Oh, and we see another injury.
Well, 2 down for the Firehawks. Not a good sign. Maybe you'll need to read up on what happens if there's 3 injuries and they can't field a full team.
Yeah.
As we see a penalty for held in the tackle.
Oh, they're going don't agree with that decision to going for the 2. What are they thinking?
Maybe they just still want to be nilled.
Oh, yeah.
At least they can turn around and say it's not a shutout.
Yeah.
But it's a tough kick. But with that said, Stramondinoli, Bill Cosby himself, puts the pill right where it needs to be.
Credit where credit's due. That was an awesome kick.
It was. He's definitely just updated his goal kicking credentials with all the SRL captains.
Yeah.
That was a thing of beauty. I mean, it's not like a try would have done anything for him anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Except maybe improve the for and or it would have improved the for and against a bit. As Wriggles brought down onto Berkeley. Berkeley makes a break. He's big, he's strong, but he's not very quick. Maybe something he needs to work on a bit. Dowley onto Leach. Leach wrapped up. Driven back a little bit in the tackle. Windmill skied onto Daly. Daly makes a break. Perhaps some tied legs out there, but Phil Burton's legs aren't tied. He just cuts Daly in half. Windmill skied onto Michael. Michael wrapped up. Referee hand in the air calling last. Stramondinoli, well, maybe he's lost a bit of those kicking credentials as McKinnon step, swerve and goose step. As we reach the end of this game, Mark, what part of each team's game has impressed you the most?
I think it's the forwards of the Bluetongues, and also the short kicking game is actually on really good.
Yeah, Lynn's had a really good kicking game for when he's been involved, and I'd say Drew Matthews has been a little bit rocks and diamonds.
Yeah.
As we see something between the two.
Oh.
And Corey Boyd, what a run. And that's the full-time siren at Barlow Park, Cairns. The game ends with the Bluetongues winning 24 points to the Cairns Firehawks 2. Mark, so probably a bit of a foregone conclusion after about the 60th minute or so. What's your takeaway from this game?
I think that the Bluetongues just showed why they're so good at the moment. They just got everything going their way. And
yep.
I
mean,
yeah.
So I noticed at halftime, Cairns Firehawks had to make 75 tackles versus the Bluetongues 74. However, at full time, that golf is increased out to 16 tackles. Extra that the Firehawks had to make. 13 missed tackles each though, so Bluetongues did get a bit messy there in the second half. But 58-42, Mark, you can't score without the ball, can you?
No, definitely not. What's interesting is, makes sense. I just can't figure out something, but I'll figure it out later.
No dramas, mate. If you'd like to run us up to the player stats, please, Mark.
We'll go the Firehawks first.
Absolutely. Alan Berkeley, 121 run meters. A lot of that seems to have been made in a couple of big breaks. A lot of touches. Second most after windmill skied, which you'd expect out of dummy half. 17 tackles, none missed for Berkeley. An excellent result. But look at all these tackles that the Firehawks had to make.
Wow.
Maverick Keller got injured making one of these tackles, playing in the number 13 jersey. 20, none missed, and one of them sure didn't miss him. Alan Berkeley, 17 and none missed. And Segarini, the other injured player, 16 and none missed. So lots and lots of defensive work there for the Firehawks, and I'd say that's definitely got them a bit out of sorts. Anything jumping out to you here, Mark?
The second rower with 3 line breaks, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Particularly towards the end there where Gilbert was able to take advantage of some tight legs.
Yeah. We'll go over to Bluetongues.
Well, Rusty Shackelford, not surprised to see him leading the meters gained because he had such a good combination with Lind on that left edge. Lind had shape to go right, then it'd be a quick ball.
Yeah. I've been really looking to put him into prop next week because that's crazy stats.
Oh, perhaps, but I mean, you've got to feel that Ilias and Joe Turner
Yeah.
Jr. didn't exactly embarrass themselves.
No, definitely not.
Maybe Shackelford's a bit more mobile, maybe a little bit better suited to the edge currently.
Yeah, that's true.
Only the one kick from Hendrik Lind, which is perhaps a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Most of it seems to have gone to the number 6, Drew Matthews. Anything you feel that, based on this sheet, the Bluetongues have done particularly well, Commish?
I just think their forward pack is actually really strong, and that's what's pushed them through the game. That's not taking anything away from their back line either, because they've done reasonably well, but I think their forward's the one that stood out the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Really clear to see there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's all we have time for this evening. So we'll say goodbye to you from Barlow Park in Cairns. Tonight has been Bluetongues Moment.